Good afternoon, Facebook. And it's 2 o'clock, it's Friday, and it's time for Ask Angelika. Hello, Angelika.
Hello, Stephen. Hello, everybody else.
Indeed, and welcome to the it's every fortnight, isn't it, to the show. And the topic today, the main topic, which came up during the course of the last 2 weeks, is this. How much does it cost to learn German?
Yes, I was asked that question the other day, and it wasn't meant as a how much do you charge? It was a general question. How much does it cost to learn German? I almost said how long is a piece of string, or how much does it cost to buy food to live? Okay, buy food to live and learning German is not quite the same priority, but you cannot really answer that question. It depends on so many things. For starters, it depends on what actually do you want to learn. Do you just want to know a little bit of basic German so you can go on holidays, or do you intend to live there? How quickly do you pick things up? Are you a fast learner? Are you a slow learner? Do you want to do things on your own? Then, of course, it doesn't cost you anything if you learn everything on your own. But how good is your German then? I remember once, a long time ago, a little schoolboy who'd finished his last reading book from the schemes they had, the reading scheme. And he was so excited because he thought he'd never ever had to read again because he finished it. And of course, then he realized, no, you carry on learning to read, and then gradually you just read because you want to, because you're for the fun of it, whichever type of things you read. And it's the same as with learning German. You start learning German, and then again, it depends on you. You may just saying, right, well, I've just done a years of German. That's all I wanted to do. I don't want to learn it anymore. I'll do something else. You may want to live in Germany, or you may have moved to Germany. Well, then you need to speak German every day. And again, it works. You may need your German because you're working for a company. So you continue your learning because you're dealing with maybe German clients or German suppliers. So you almost cannot answer that question, how much does it cost? It really depends on what you want and what you need as well. And to follow up on that one, another question I saw today is, are there any websites where you can learn German for free but get a certificate? And that leads nicely to this question, really, because there aren't. Yes, there are lots of websites where you have online resources where you can learn things for free. And but if you need an officially recognized certificate because you want to apply for a job in Germany, or you need it for whatever other reasons, you're applying for a job for a company in England or any other country, and they want to see proof that your German is good, they want a certificate, you will have to pay for that certificate. Now, you can prepare for that for free by doing everything on your own, but I would be very careful with that, because you may saying, right, I need to save as much money as I can, I'm doing everything on my own, and then I'm going to approach that company, whoever it is, or a school, and saying, right, I want to do the exam. And then you fail because actually you didn't really prepare for that particular exam. So there are costs involved. How much, that is entirely up to you, of what you're willing to spend, of what you're willing to risk, if you really want to do it as cheap. But you've got to pay somewhere. But you wouldn't ask that question if you're thinking about how much does it cost to go to the pub.
No, you wouldn't. Because you know it's going to cost you when you do that. And learning the language has a cost as well, as you've just explained. Now, in an experimental part of this program, we're going to try something we've not done before. we're going to do a question and answer session around the topic of it's fun. Well, do you want to explain and then we'll make a start?
Yes, it's a phrase that obviously, well, especially students who are working towards their GCSE exams. A lot of times they want to say in their speaking that something is fun, or they're writing it. And I've noticed, I don't know how many times I have corrected people before, but they always think of it is fun, so therefore that has to be es ist Spaß, which is the literal translation. Well, unfortunately, the Germans don't say es ist Spaß, they're saying es macht Spaß. Or you can also say das macht Spaß, das or es, it doesn't really matter, but we're saying it makes fun. I guess Germans who are coming over to England probably can't understand why English people are saying it's fun. Why don't you say it makes fun? But that's just the way it is. So in German, we're saying es macht Spaß, whereas in English, we're saying it is fun. So I think we need to reinforce that a little bit, don't you think?
I think we do.
So my question to you, Stephen. Was denkst du über Spazierengehen?
And my answer is es macht Spaß. So can we just go through the question again?
Yeah. Was denkst du über Spazierengehen? So what do you think about going for walks? I know the answer, so I'll make sure it's a proper answer.
Yeah, I know the answer. The answer is es macht Spaß. And okay, and this next one?
The follow-up one. Auch 26 Meilen?
Ja, das macht auch Spaß. And back to the question. Sorry?
Yeah, back to the question. Yeah, auch 26 Meilen. I know not everybody would give the same answer as Stephen there, but I know he likes walking marathons. He likes to walk the whole 26 miles. So I knew I could safely ask that question because he would still say, es macht Spaß. If I'd ask anybody else, they may say, es macht keinen Spaß. It's not.
My answer is, das macht auch Spaß.
That's also fun. Yes, exactly.
Right. And go on to question 3.
This is the question which everybody needs to answer with a positive answer, especially if I ask the question. Warum lernst du Deutsch?
Meine keine Ahnung. Sorry. The official answer is weil es Spaß macht. Now, can you explain the difference? Why it's ordered differently? Because we go back to the original question, which was?
Warum lernst du Deutsch? So why do you learn German?
And the answer?
Weil es Spaß macht. And you've started this sentence, or you answered with weil. And anybody who's having lessons with me gets this drummed in over and over and over again. Don't they?
Oh, they do.
And the weil pushes the verb to the end. So instead of saying es macht Spaß, which you could have said as well, you could have just answered es macht Spaß. But if you're saying because it is fun, in English, then nothing changes in the word order. In German, it does. So we're saying weil es Spaß macht. We push the verb to the end.
So ich lerne Deutsch, weil es Spaß macht.
Yeah.
And next one. Question 4.
Und wie findest du Ask Angelika?
Es macht Spaß.
It certainly does for us, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
I hope it's fun for them. I nearly translated it wrong into English now. I was almost saying it makes fun, but of course in English it is fun. I hope watching these shows is fun for people to watch. It's certainly fun for us. Es macht mir auch Spaß.
All right.
It's fun for me too.
Okay. And for me, it's fun for me as well. Now, just going back to the questions for a moment. Just in question 1. Now, if it was somebody you didn't know, what would the question be and why?
Oh, I would have said was denken Sie. Is that what you're trying to aim
Yes,
at?
it is, yeah.
Yes, that's the formal you and the informal you. Well, it depends who this other person is. If I'd asked a question, an adult who I don't know, I would have used was denken Sie. If I'd asked a child, a new class of students, I would have said was denkst du? Or was denkt ihr? Which is the informal you in the plural, if I'd asked the whole class. If I posted that in a Facebook group, it's hit and miss. A lot of people on Facebook, or not just Facebook, social media in general, a lot of Germans on social media tend to go for the informal you now, but there are still people who don't. So if you're using the informal you on Facebook or Twitter, you're probably all right. And every so often you may get the question from somebody, do I know you? Or more, do you know me? So they may not like it. So it's still a bit tricky.
All right. And just staying with that again for a moment, what's the literal translation of spazieren gehen?
Spazieren gehen is to go for walks, to go for a walk, but it's a verb. It can also be a noun as well. So here it's what do you think over, literally translated, going for walks. But of course in English it would be about.
Okay. And question 4 was wie findest? Now, how, in terms of asking questions about how, that's literally how do you find, isn't it? Or,
yes, and then there's normally, if you ask a question like this in a school, there's usually a bright spark and says, well, I switched the computer on and went into Facebook and there it was. But of course, that's not the meaning of it. It's how do you like? But we do use finden. So if I could say to you, wie findest du die Weises? Which is a town where we live.
Es macht Spaß. Okay. No.
I'm
yes,
sure
no.
a lot of people in Devizes probably wouldn't agree with you. But
I think most would. Hopefully. Right, I'm going to take that off the screen. And is there anything else that you'd like to talk about today in terms of the courses or how about the group? Do you want to give a shout out for the group?
Well, we can do another quick shout out to the group, although we are actually live broadcasting from the page, aren't we?
Yes, but you could invite people to join the group.
Yes, we could. So yes, we are live broadcasting from the page, which is the place on Facebook where I post links to either my blog post or anybody else's blog posts, which are really interesting for people who are learning German, or hopefully really interesting. And of course we have the group, because if you post something to the page, I can see it, but nobody else can usually see it because it's sort of tucked away. Whereas if you're posting a question in the group, I can see it, everybody else can see it. And I've forgotten how many we have now. We're getting pretty close to 100, or?
It is, yes. Yeah, near 100 members in the group. And it's open to anybody who is learning or thinking of learning German, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it doesn't say there is a requirement that you have to speak German, but you ought to have an interest in German at least, even if you don't speak any German at all. If you're interested in learning German and you have any questions, or you might have any question, or you just want to see what other people are posting, please do come and join us. We've got plenty of space.
Und warum lernen alles Deutsch.
Weil es Spaß macht.
And that's been the topic of today. It's fun. Es macht Spaß, because the literal translation, it is fun. In German, you say it makes fun. Es macht Spaß. So I've learned something today. Angelika, would you like to do the wrap up, and we'll close today's broadcast?
Yes, well, please do come and join our group to have some fun, hopefully. And I will see you again in 2 weeks' time. So it's tschüss von mir.
And it's tschüss von mir. Bis später. In 2 weeks' time, yes?
Yes.
In 2 Wochen. And
In
come
2
along
Wochen, yeah.
and come and learn German with Angelika. And look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time. Bye for now.
Bye.